Good readers check their comprehension. The purpose of us to reading is so that we can understand what the author is telling us. So today we're going to record ourselves reading and then we're going to check for comprehension. How did we do understanding our story? So let's think a little bit about the main character of our story. We talked about how character traits help us understand a character. We talked yesterday about Miss Meldrum, then we talked about Piggy and Elephant, and then we then talked about Max. And you all told me a little bit about Max on the outside, his character traits, then on his inside character traits. Traits you can't see on the inside, but by the way they act, by the way they're talking, what they're feeling, we can know a lot about a character. So Max felt what at the beginning of the story? He felt afraid because he was shy and he did not want to do the speaking. So at the beginning of the story, he was afraid. But if we look at Max at the end of the story, do you think he changed from the way he was at the beginning of the story to the way he was at the end of the story? He may have changed a little bit. Like he was probably still shy, but I would say he became brave, right? Because he chose to do something that was hard. And when I went on your Nearpods, I saw that you all were telling me things that you tried. You became brave, even though you were afraid, singing and blowing out birthday candles and climbing on rock walls. You all told me some things that you tried and you became brave. And Max and our character in our story became brave as well. But who helped him? How did he overcome that? Some of your moms helped you when you said you were afraid to blow out the birthday candles, and your mom encouraged you, or your mom prayed with you when you were afraid to sing. So your moms helped you. Well, who helped Max? How well do you think Max will do? Now, that is not in the story. We don't even know what he says. The story kind of ends when he makes a decision. But how do you think Max will do? Think about his character. Think about what we know about him. We know he's loving. We know that he's a good worker. So, how well do you think he'll do? Do you think he'll do well? Do you think he'll get scared and chicken out? How do you think Max will do on that speech? Again, that is not in the story. I just want you to read that story, and I want you, by understanding the character, see if you can figure out that answer. There's really no right or wrong answer to that question. And do you think it is important for people to try things that are hard? Or studying Moses this last probably 2 months in Bible. And Moses, remember, God asked Moses to go to Pharaoh and let the people go. But do you remember when we first started talking about Moses? He's like, no way, I cannot do that. I don't speak well. Remember, he already killed somebody in Egypt a long time ago, like 40 years before. He's like, they will never trust me. And God said, no, I want you to go. I want you to do what I want you to do. I'm going to go and do the talking for you. I'm going to tell you what to say. And God was going to take care of Pharaoh and Pharaoh's heart. So Moses had to do something that was very scary for him, go to the Pharaoh and ask the Pharaoh to let the people go. We all have to come across things that are difficult for us to do. Miss Axel has to. I never liked talking in front of people, but I had to learn to overcome that, right? Because I became a teacher and I talk all the time. So, do you think it's important for people to overcome their fears? If you think it's important, say yes and tell me why. If you don't think it's important, you can say no, I don't think it's important, and then tell me why. So, you're going to have two things today. You're going to have a slide to do and answer some comprehension questions. And then you are going to go on guided readers. I want to hear your fluency. You've been able to practice this story all week long. And so now I want to hear you reading. If you were reading and you were listening to Max's big speech, and as you were reading it, it was very difficult for you, I put on another book that you could have practiced all week long and recorded yourself, and that's called My Treehouse. So you choose out of these two books, Max's Big Speech or My Treehouse, which one you want to record yourself on. And you don't even have to tell me which one you do, because when I go on guided readers, your first recording pops up. So answer your questions about Max's Big Speech and read it for me, or record yourself reading today. And then I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow you have your test on your high frequency words, so be practicing those and your spelling AR sound words. Remember R, the A is silent. And so you're going to just know when you hear the R sound, the A is in front of it. Okay? I'll see you tomorrow for our tests.